I've been obsessed lately with this idea of who do we respect the most in society? Who is it that men truly want to be? Is it the CEO? Is it the artist who actually might never be rich, but is maybe the best guitar player to ever live, but just never made it? We glorify that. We glorify the billionaire CEO. We glorify the man who sleeps with 100 women in a year, and we glorify the man who has a phenomenal, incredible relationship with his wife. So, what is the most respected position in all of culture? And I realized, I've been thinking about this a lot. This has been fucking plaguing my mind. I realized the most respected position in all of culture is the warrior king. The warrior king. Because sure, we respect the warrior. Of course, we respect the soldier. We respect the warrior. And then, of course, we respect the king. But what can you respect more? There is nothing you can respect more than the warrior king. Examples of this. In Lord of the Rings, Theoden is fighting in the Battle of Helm's Deep and at the end at Gondor. In Vikings, you've got the kings of these different Viking Nordic tribes that lead their men into battle. And the reason we respect the warrior king so much is because the king doesn't have to be a warrior. And we see this in movies. We see this played out as well. We see cowardice kings. We see cowardice kings. So in Vikings as well, they're invading Paris. And the Parisian emperor, he refuses to even see the front lines of battle. We see this in Lord of the Rings. We see Ned Stark leading his men into battle. We respect the warrior king. And it's because the king has so much to lose. He has elevated at such a high status that he has so much to lose. He's not the young soldier who really only has his life to lose. The king loses the keys to the kingdom, all the women he could ever want, all the glory. And so we respect the warrior king. And so I've been working with this coach recently. We've been talking a lot about what is it that I stand for as a man. And what I realized is I want to be the warrior king. I want to be the fucking man that has it all, but is still out here on these fucking streets grinding and hustling. Gary Vee is a great example of a warrior king. Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, these are warrior kings. These are guys that they could truly automate their entire business, do 4 speeches a year. Grant Cardone could choose to just go do 4 speeches a year, automate his entire business, and still be a multi-millionaire, maybe even still a billionaire. Same with Gary Vee. The warrior king is the man who fights and claws and scrapes his way to the fucking top to become the king. And then he still fights on. He still goes into fucking battle until he's either too old or he dies. And that's what you want to go for in your life. You don't want to be the victim. Nobody should ever want to be the victim. The king is not the victim. The king knows he's in control. The king takes fault. The king takes extreme ownership. The king goes into battle. The king makes smart, wise decisions. The king takes action. And when I see guys complaining about some girl online that it was so close to, hey, that's not what a fucking king does. And so you start by feeling like a king. And the way you start by feeling like a king is by doing shit that kings do. What does a king do today? Does a king go to the fucking gym and lift heavy weights today to have a phenomenal fucking body? Is that what the warrior king does? Does the warrior king train? Yes, he does. Does the warrior king struggle with women? Absolutely fucking not. He talks to women like the king talks to women. The warrior king is making smart, wise financial decisions. The warrior king is taking action in his life. So try your best to embody the warrior king. And when you ask yourself, what does the warrior king do? And you do those things on a daily basis, everything else in your life is going to fall into place. Thanks for tuning in.